Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wish each and every one of you compliments of the season. These are some of my homemade starters and desserts which we had for our Christmas lunch. Today's recipe is a simple eggless apple pie recipe. This recipe has 3 parts to it. The first 2 parts can be done a day in advance and stored in the refrigerator, whereas the third part can be done on the day you want to serve the dish. If you are new to my channel and this is your first visit, hello and welcome. I do post such simple, easy and interesting recipes every week. Do hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for notifications of my future videos. If you are regular on my channel, you will know that whenever I try a new dish, I try a small quantity first. So this recipe is just sufficient for 4. Strain the flour along with salt, add in the powdered sugar and mix well. Now add in the chilled butter and break it so that it gets coated with the flour and gather it together till it looks like breadcrumbs. Once the butter is incorporated into the flour, add ice cold water a little at a time and bring the dough together. Do not knead the dough. Remember not to add too much water into the dough because when you bake it, the water evaporates and this will cause the pie to shrink. Once your dough comes together, shape it into a disc and cover it in cling wrap and store it in the refrigerator for minimum of 30 minutes to 1 hour, or you can store it overnight. Now that we have finished with the first part, we move on to the second part, that is making of the apple pie. There are 2 ways you can use this. One, you make it and pop it immediately into the pastry, or store it in the refrigerator for later use. Any extra can be used as topping on other desserts and ice creams. Peel the skin, coat the apples and cut into thin slices. Transfer the apples to a bowl and add lime juice and toss well. The acidity of the lime juice sparks up the apples. Heat the apples in a pan, add in the sugar, butter and cinnamon. If you are adding unsalted butter, add a pinch of salt. Cover and cook the apples for 5 to 7 minutes or till the apples are soft and caramelized. If you find that the caramelized sauce is of a thin consistency, you can remove the apples and thicken the sauce. Now we move on to the third and final part, that is rolling out the pie crust. We need to roll out 2 pie crusts, one for the pie pan and the other for the lattice on the top. Get the tart dough from the refrigerator and divide it into 2 halves. While working with the first half, roll the other half in the cling wrap and place it back in the refrigerator. Dust the work surface generously and roll out one part into round circles of half-inch thickness. Take care to roll it slightly bigger than the pan size. I have used 2 tart molds, one of 5 inches and the other of 6 inches. Both these tart molds have removable base. Grease the mold and place the dough over it. The dough will be hanging over the edges. Gently lift the edges and press it down into the bottom and sides of the pan so that it fits in well. Use a knife to trim the edges or just press down on the edges to cut itself. Now prick with a fork. Now that the pie molds are ready, line the base with 4 to 5 tablespoons of vanilla pudding. Now if you want to know the recipe of this pudding, please click the top right corner. Line the cooked apple pie over this pudding. Pour in the caramelized sauce over the apples. Once this is ready, keep it aside and roll out the second half that was placed in the refrigerator for the lattice. Roll out into round circles, same as the earlier one, and cut strips of half-inch width. Trim the edges to level it. Crisscross the strips at a distance of a half inch or 1 inch width over the apples to cover it properly. Use the remaining strips to seal the edges securely. Trim off any excess that is hanging on the sides. Finally, give it a milk wash. Place the pie pan in a tray and cover it all round with a foil. The foil not only protects but also helps the edges to cook well and the center to be nice and golden brown. Bake at 200 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Enjoy this simple eggless apple pie just as is, or with a scoop of ice cream on the top. If you enjoy watching, do subscribe for more such interesting videos and do share them with your family and friends. Thank you for watching and meet you soon in my next one.